Welcome back, guys. It's CVP time. An awesome match coming up. The matches have only been getting better as the day goes on. Awesome match in the upper bracket just now with Hut taking the first qualifier spot over Seetha 3-0. What? And a 6 series before that with Seetha over Probe. Which is why we're seeing Probe now from the lower bracket up against Meomaika and Pig. You had a lot of great analysis in that last series. Hut taking the 3-0. Seetha's down the bottom. Who do you think has the better chance against Seetha if they advance here?
I don't even know. I mean, like, Probe made that series so close before against Seetha, but I kind of feel like Seetha was just out playing him in many situations in the early mid game, right? So things were really tough there. Meomaika is just this wild card where I feel like he washes up against the solidness of Seetha a lot of the time. But Meomaika always surprises me. I always think, like, this guy's too good. He's not going to fall for Meomaika's shenanigans. And he always pulls out this new creative, like, attack. And it's always something weird they're not seeing, they're not expecting. So I'm so 50-50. I'm going to be like that airy-fairy, just no opinion. I'm like, Probe could maybe do it, but he's got to fix up his early mid-game.
I'll give you an opinion. I am the anti-Fear Dragon, all right? I will always favor the guy that's more solid over the Memo. So I think Probe has a much better shot against Seetha than Mio. I think Mio will get absolutely backhanded by Seetha if they do face off.
Mm-hmm. I got to go with Probe as well. And that's partly because he's been pulling out some memes himself in the last couple of days. Granted, they were towards the end of the day yesterday after a long tournament where you're playing for seeding, but he has a hell of a lot of builds and a hell of a lot of tricks. So, folks, Maynard and I are bringing you this one on Dreamcatcher for map number 1 for this awesome ZVP. And in the top left, he's in the blue, kicking ass, taking names. He is Meomaika.
And in the bottom right, he's been taking names and kicking ass as well. This is Legacy's Probe. I wanted to do the Avengers Infinity Wars thing where they're like, we kick names and take ass.
Good film.
It was all right.
It was all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, it's a 6 out of 10 film for me. I mean, I'm still not going to spoil it. I'm just saying that when it ended, I'm like, it was okay. It didn't.
I mean,
really...
it's part 1. It's part 1.
It's all right. Yeah, it's part 1. Maybe part 2 is better. I mean, it's extremely predictable what's going to happen, but I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'll allow it.
Right? Yeah. That's good. Anyway, let's do StarCraft before we have a falling out live in front of 3,000 people.
Let's do that.
We do have this pool sort of being hidden in the corner there from Meomaika, but it is a pool first from him, so to be able to have those lings out early, to be able to, if he wants, pressure the wall of Probe, but at least, have a little bit of map control at the early stages of the game. Probe not afraid, though. Drops that next on the low ground. He'll be able to get his wall off, no problem.
Yeah.
He's trying to stop a third hatchery, but it's not a third hatchery. JK, LOL.
Yeah, well, it might be. You never know with Meomaika.
He still has 200 more minerals to wait before he can afford it.
Yeah. It's funny because Pig and I was discussing this earlier about the pool kind of being out towards the edge of the creep and players do that. I was like, I don't think Meomaika, I don't think I've really seen him do it. Of course, he does it in the next series. But this map does have a lot of blank spots in your vision around the edge of the main and in the natural.
This Probe's being a massive jerk, man. I see that Meomaika's, he's opened without gas for quite a while here. So this is actually a bit of a, economic focused opening for Meomaika. He wants that. He's going to get that third hatchery. The link's coming out early. It looks like it's to bat away the Probe from blocking that third hatchery going down. Obviously, this means he doesn't have speed, but he is mining gas now. And if he hits that 100 gas and gets speed, then, he's going to have a pretty regular transition here. Alternatively, he could also go into roaches. That's something that Meomaika likes a lot in this matchup as well.
Yeah, he certainly does. He likes making a lot of stuff in general. Just sort of pick one or two units, and he'll probably mass it and throw it at you until you die. So we'll soon see what he goes for. Hydra might be a nice choice. We have Stargate coming up from Pro, which is the opening that he's basically favored in most PVZs that we've seen him play. Even a bit in the PVTs. So Very solid standard opening. We'll see what he can get done with that if he goes for a Phoenix after the Oracle or if he goes for a couple of Oracles.
So, what is Mio doing with this 200 gas in the bank? He's getting double Evo chamber. Upgraded Lings, question mark? He's going up to 300 gas in the bank now. Hasn't done nothing with it. Still hasn't gotten Zergling speed, by the way. So, Lings doesn't make sense. Hydra?
That fast?
But he hasn't started a lair yet. What are you doing, Mio? You hurt my brain.
That's a
There we go.
Carapace. He does like to
Carapace.
get Carapace.
I mean, he can
but
afford double upgrades, but for what?
That is the question. I'm waiting for the lair to pop or something. Okay, there's the melee upgrade as well, and he'll soon have enough for a lair if he wants to charge up to that. The Oracle's going to come in here, get a good scout, see that double upgrades are running. There are spores at the ready, though, so very nicely defended by Mio.
I'm actually just pressing my temples right now, watching this double melee go down before Zergling speed even gets started. You know, I'm off camera, but I'm just like squeezing my head together, trying to make my brain stop expanding with like internal bleeding, trying to understand what Meomaika has gotten planned here. I mean, obviously upgraded Lings are pretty, there's something that can work out. You know, in the past, they've been married up with Infestors and actually worked quite nicely against like gateway armies of Protoss and that sort of thing, but they kind of fallen off. You know, you get a couple Archons out, which Probe really likes to do, and you get a bunch of Charge Lots out, and the Lings kind of look a little bit silly. But as it stands, these Oracles are coming into that natural. They kill a Queen. It's a good start there for Probe. Catches some drones and transfer to the third base as well. Nice.
Nice. Yeah. And this bunch of slow Lings. They're just having a look around. They're actually going to get mopped up pretty quick if they get too close to any units at all, though.
Yeah. I mean, it does certainly look like Meomaika just wants to flood a ton of Lings. Like, I mean, he still does not have a lair. It's just still hatchery tech. So, yeah, it looks like he just wants to make a bajillion Lings. Lair is coming down now, but obviously no Baneling Nest at the moment or anything like that, which actually would be nice with these upgrades that he's getting. But, I mean, this is Meomaika, straight up Zergling, and he likes to have that little bit of extra gas for the Hydras instead of the Banelings. And a lot of the Lings are actually dying, these Oracles. Probe does see them coming at them, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a strategy. Like, I see his idea here. Okay, it's right when he's taking the third. Can he maybe dive into the natural? Can he get the cancel on the third Nexus, for example? Hut, my goodness. Probe is very good defensively. And with the Oracles, I feel like it's going to be kind of tricky to get in here. Meomaika is actually making 5 Overlords because he got super supply blocked, unfortunately.
Yeah, Phoenixes. That's right. Phoenix has actually been doing a fair bit of work on these Overlords. I mean, Meomaika only has 3 Queens, 1 per hatchery, so his anti-Phoenix countermeasures are pretty limited. He's getting Overlord speed here. Maybe some Ling drops in the future. Could be pretty cool. +2 attackers on the way for the Lings. Heading up to that naturally. There's still a shield battery here and a... I mean, he might have to warp in a couple more gateway units if he could commit these Lings. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple on the outside potentially being taken out, but oh well. And yep, there's the Dropper Lords.
A little bit too sticky to get in there the traditional way, so I do like the Dropper Lord idea. Let's see how much success it has. Is going into the +2 attack behind this. Still not really any other tech though, so he is banking on this to do the job for now as he takes a 4th base. He hasn't added any more drones in true Meomaika fashion. He's sitting at about 50. But if this doesn't do that much damage, he's definitely going to need to start thinking about adding some other tech in.
Certainly. And the drop play absolutely could pull a fast one here in Probe. I mean, you know, you can defensively warp in, but if a bunch of Lings are already unloaded in your base, it's a little bit tough. And they're going to have +2 attack shortly as well, but the Dropper Lord's going to hit just before that. Probe sees the 4th hatchery timing here with those Oracles, which would be fantastic to have at home to help out against these Lings. Phoenix was Haluk, so it goes down, no damage done there. And Probe is still concentrating on these Lings on the left, but Meomaika is hitting on the right-hand side. There's the drop play. Mio with a big brain drop.
Probe sees it. He pulls the units away. He's trying to save himself up the front here with the Sentry force fields. But that's a lot of Lings, and it's a good surround. Even so, he's taken out a lot of this. Oracles are going to help out a lot as well. The Probes at the third base trying to fight 1-1 Lings. Not the best scenario for them, but they will finally clean them up.
Oh, he's killed 12 Probes already, but he still needs to do more than that with this Ling drop. Like, it's good, but he needs to start picking off Nexus. He needs to kill the army of Probe here. All right, the Lings on the left starting to get some damage done at the third base. The Oracles laser beaming down these Lings slowly but surely. Probe getting spread a little bit thin here. Looks like the Natural's still taking damage. 13 Probe kills, but Probe is still up 8 workers. So the Ling drop ended up not being that good.
I mean, he might still get a couple more.
He needs to get another 8. He needs to kill a Nexus or something. He's only on 4 bases with the 4th base not being saturated, and the Protoss has got his 3rd saturated, and he's got Storm now.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the resources lost, it's 4.1k to 2.6k in favor of Probe. So Meomaika really threw a lot of stuff at that and didn't get the value for money. He's going to keep putting up the pressure, and he will be able to pick things up. Don't get me wrong. He can get more probes and get a stalker or 2, but it's diminishing returns, I feel, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sentries here. A shield, a battery, or 2 as well, and it looks like Probe's even going to get an Archon down there. These Lings are in a wrong place here, but Meomaika is just basically holding that Z button, trying to make a bajillion Lings. He's getting Hive now. Keep in mind that he's never gotten anything other than Zerglings. He just has Zerglings and a Queen per hatchery to inject. This madness from Meomaika. Catching a few of the Zealots on the left-hand side there. But again, like Meomaika, I mean, what is he going to get with a Hive? Adrenal? Adrenal in 3-3? And just keep making Lings?
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's a build he's only getting away with because he's being so aggressive, and it makes the Protoss a bit scared. It makes him make that extra defensive structures and stuff. He has no tech. He got a really late gas. I mean, it feels like this shouldn't work, but he's been able to get to 10 minutes in the game with it. But can he keep it up? Because Probe's at the point where he's kind of fed up. He wants to do some damage himself.
Probe has Storms. He has 5 High Templar. I think they're leading to the back end of this army here. There they are. And these Lings are going to evaporate. Goodbye, Lings. Oh, they're going to surround around the High Templar here. And storm themselves before they turn into an Archon? Nope. Actually, I think that he could have potentially gotten a few more Storms off there. The Archon's taking some beating here from the Lings of Meomaika, but they get pulled away. And the Zealots and Sentries finish off what's left. Meomaika down to 37 army supply of straight-up Lings.
Oh
some
my
Queens coming down here to help out, but that's charge lots, baby.
Yeah, well, that is about 8,000 Queens with at least 10 transfuses.
It is
so they'll do surprisingly okay, but as more Zealots come in, you're absolutely right. They will eventually clean this up. It is not a cost-efficient trade, but yeah, Probe really pushing the issue here. He's deep on Zerg territory. Meomaika, with only Lings coming out and trying to get towards Ultras, is going to be having a bad time.
Yeah. Well, Probe punishes Meomaika for his memes again. Nicely held and nicely done from Probe.
Yeah.
I feel like that drop there from Meomaika, I'm not going to dismiss it entirely as something completely foolish, but I think like there was a little bit of an anti-timing there. Like 2-2 was almost done, and then when he was cleaned up, 2-2 was finished. Like it finished after he got cleaned up. It felt like maybe if he dropped with 2-2, would have been a lot more effective there for Meomaika. I don't want to poop all over him for a weird build that didn't work out, because I applaud the fact that he's very creative, and it's something I've literally never seen before in my life. After all the StarCraft we watched, so it's really cool to see new stuff.
Yeah.
But Probe is like, no, not today, and he just deflects it, and then sends his Stormy boys and his Archon boys on the other side of the map with a bunch of charge lots, and it's like, are you going to get that Ultra Cavern up? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. I did like it. He did get damage done. I guess the timing that it came at or something just wasn't right, because like you mentioned, 2-2 was almost done. Maybe you could have gotten more happening. I don't know, because if you do X amount of probe damage, what was it, like 15 probes or something, and you're still behind on the work account, maybe you needed to drone harder or you needed to hit earlier.
The thing is, if all your lava is Lings, what does it mean that lava is not? It means that it is not drones.
I know, but that's Meomaika's style, right? 50 drones is about perfect for him. He rarely goes higher, and then when we do see him play a macro game, he goes to like 90 drones. But it didn't quite work out. Cool idea. Maybe some tweaks in the execution could help that.
I can see it working
better. Yeah,
I can see it working. Like I don't want to take that away from Meomaika and say that it was silly, but I could see it working. Just I don't see it working against someone like Probe. That's all.
Yeah, like, I mean, against a lesser player, like being attacked by upgraded Lings on like 4 different fronts, it's not easy to hold. It is not.
Certainly not.
Yeah, so we'll see how we go on Acid Plant, which is going to be map number 2 between these two gentlemen. Apparently, some of the Vietnamese fans getting a bit hyped for Meomaika. Tweeted an image that was made before, if you want to go look at that. But
Try
Yeah,
and find it.
good to see the support. Good to see some representation from the Southeast Asian countries here, because sometimes we have a lot of Australians and New Zealanders in the top 8 or so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just historically, it's been the Australians on top of the mountain at the end of the day, but there have been in the past so many powerful players from Southeast Asia, Meomaika included. You know, your Blisks, your Revenants, your oh god, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
You know what? We've had a lot, because China and Japan used to also play with us sometimes before they sort of sorted out all the regions.
Javier Napoleon Compado, what was his in-game name?
Ender. Yeah, Ender.
There we go. We did it. Well, anyway, let's introduce these players in the bottom right here. Losing game 1, but still has potential to fight back. This is Meomaika.
And in the top left, spawning in the red, his name is Probe.
Yeah, buddy. So as we can see, like, the series yesterday where Probe was getting a little memey, was massing DTs with Blink against Meomaika, who's already qualified, didn't really care too much about his seed. You can see that he's, when it does matter, when it's, you know, trying to get a spot for a WCS and thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars, he is, you know, there's no leaks in this ship. He is going full try hard here, and I don't blame him for it at all.
Yeah. He absolutely should. Now is the time to try hard. My goodness. If ever there was one.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think Meomaika... Look, Zeph, I'm going to give you the hardest job in the whole world. Correctly predict what Meomaika is going to do in this game. If you nail it, I will PayPal you $100.
Nice.
Yeah. So correctly predict it. Have a think. It's going to take some time. Until the third hatchery finishes.
Mission impossible.
You might as well
I'm
try.
trying to think back to what he did last time. Not in this series, but the time before that, when we watched him yesterday. What he did when he went 3 hatch before pool. But it's not coming to me. It usually ends up being a whole lot of Roach Ravager Ling in a lot of games. So that's.
So you're calling Roach Ravager Ling?
Yeah.
All right. Well, lock it in. Lock it in, Eddie. Don't get to call a friend. That's it.
No. My only other guess would be like a Mass Hydra thing, but no, I'm going to stick with
Don't
Roach
get to have
Ravager.
2 guesses.
No.
You get to have 2 guesses.
No,
You get to
I'm
have
sticking
one
with
guess.
Roach Ravager. I'm just saying,
Roach Ravager?
if I had an option B, maybe that. I don't know. It's so hard. And this would be like the one game he goes mute or something.
Yeah, it does feel like it's generally going to be Hydra Ling from Meomaika, but we will that would be my prediction is Hydra Ling.
Yeah.
Super going for a Twilight Council opening here, no Stargate, a little bit different of an opening. Pleased to see that.
I'm gonna be watching how much he drones up to, because I think you're right actually, because it's 3 base right off the bat. If he went 2 base and then a 3rd. Maybe not so much, because he tends not to drone the 3rd when he gets the 3rd at a more standard timing. But
Right.
yeah, we'll soon find out. He on the other side of the map, Probe is going for his robo, and ooh, what is that structure there in the production tab?
Is this 2016 Zeph?
No,
The
it's an
DT
even
Archon
better
drop,
year.
or I guess just DT Prism.
You know what? These DTs could have Blink someday. And Probe
They
did
could.
tweet, get ready for some Blink DTs.
He did today. He
Or
said
look
that.
forward to some Blink DTs, yes.
Oh, please. Yes, Probe Slay.
No, please don't.
I want it so bad. That's actually, I will very publicly like poop on Blink DT as a thing, because I just think it's absolutely not worth the money. You get 200 minerals and you can get a warp prism that doesn't have a Blink cooldown. That's basically Blink DTs right there. But it is fun to see, that's for sure. So I actually do want this from Probe.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Maybe not the best strategy in the book, but Probe has made it work. And I watched one of his earlier games as well that went on the B stream, and he was pulling out the warp prisms against the Zergs. At one point he had 2 warp prisms with DTs and Archons and stuff, doing some fun stuff with that. So I guess he's been having fun with this and he wants to try it out. He has had some success with it too.
Going straight in Archons. Nope. The Cloak Boy's going to have a touch on this third base. See what they can do about this Spore Crawler. And remove a little bit of that detection. That pesky detection. And not... Okay, there we go. The surface area is on that Spore Crawler. War Prism has ranged abilities to pick up things. Don't lose those DTs. There we go. And now I can turn them into Archons and continue the harassment. This is a very, very old build here from Probe. And we are seeing Hydra Link from Meomaika. I'll give you my PayPal between the cast. Private message it to you.
Okay. Deal.
Yep.
All right, so the Archons have finished morphing here. They're going to try and do a bit of damage. There's a Queen here and a few Hydras, so that War Prism does need to be a little bit careful, but this does really well against light units. Look at that. You can just zap them down so easily.
Power overwhelming, baby. The Cotton Balls of Death. 4 more DTs on the way here from Probe. Looks like he's going to actually... Does he have 2 prisms? Oh my god, he's got 2 War Prisms.
Does he? Yeah.
Oh my god, what a god. He's going to try and root gaming hero this.
Yeah, this is a really cool strategy, and it's difficult to deal with when you don't have roaches.
This bowl of Hydras? Lol.
Good luck to you, buddies.
Yeah. This is actually so scary for Meomaika, because he's just making Hydras and Lings. He's just started a Baneling Nest now. Are any of these things good against Archon, Zeph?
No.
Not really.
Yeah, there's one Archon with very low shields, but that's like his best bet. Ideally, you would love to snipe the War Prisms or something, but you're just not going to be able to get that close to them. So this third base is basically forfeit right now because he can't really hold on to it. Maybe as he gets more units.
Ooh, loses an Archon. Nice pick off there for me. I mean, the third is going to survive here. The Archons were getting a little bit low in hit points there towards the end, so the Hydras do manage to push them back. But Probe is not slowing down back at home. He hasn't got I don't think he's got a Templar Archive just yet. No, he hasn't. So the scariest thing for Mio right now is Chargebot Storm with Archon support. Oh, wow. That was a hot pick up there on that Archon. I think that Archon has like 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Probe is going to obviously want Storm. He's going to want Archons. He's going to want lots of charge lots to help out against Mio's army composition. But at the moment, he's making an Immortal. He's making Immortals, plural, actually. So... that is actually another way to deal with Hydra, strangely enough, is getting a lot of Immortals out. But I prefer Storm, to be honest, but Probe's better than me. So.
Yeah, that's why he's this deep in WCS Challenger, and we're not.
Yeah, that's why I'm casting him and he's not casting me, put it that way.
Alright, Zealot's in the mix now to a bit of extra buff for these Archons, but he picks up and gets out of there pretty fast. But he does deny that base. I think there's something else in the third base of Meomaika at the same time. I'm not sure what that was, but he got 3 kills for it. And now he's in the main with these Archons, and he can just keep doing this all day because it's hard to find an answer to this kind of harassment.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is the Hydras kind of are the answer, but it's just that his Hydra count isn't scary enough yet. Oh my god, a lot more DTs coming out for Probe. They're either going to be, they are going to be all Archons here. He's going to make as many as possible. He hasn't gotten Shadow Stride yet on the Dark Shrine, so no blink. Oh, what Prism! Damn, unload micro there from Probe, keeping those Archons alive. Those 3 Archons are the MVPs of this game so far.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to move forward, try and deny this 4th. That is a fair number of units for Meomaika, and he's trying to go for a bit of a spread. The force fields are going to be key here. It does slice up a few Hydras at the front. Ling's looking for a bit of a wraparound on some more money units, but more Zealots come in and sort of seal that pathway off, and these Hydras don't have enough friends to actually take out this army. Probe is going to get this 4th base just as it pops. Again, something in the third base of Meomaika could be just a Zealot or 2. I don't know what that Queen looks like.
There might have been DTs. I'm not too sure. I think there was maybe 1 DT that didn't get to morph into an Archon. I'm not too sure. But we just missed that. I mean, Probe is still crushing on through here. Meomaika's finding himself without many Banelings. He's in fact losing the ones he's morphing here. The Hydras are basically the backbone of his army, but there's 3 Immortals, 4 Archons, Sentries, and even more Sentries coming in. These charge lots are going to finish as well. The War Prism's not in danger of getting taken out. And Meomaika is unfortunately about to be eliminated here by Probe.
Oh, dancing the Immortals!
Dancing!
All units! Oh my god.
The disrespect! Oh my god, Probe. Right, GG. Good luck, Probe.
Wow.
Nice class set from Meomaika as he gets eliminated.
Savage.
Damn. It's muy caliente. Ay, ay, ay.
GG. Well,
There's a few cheeky boys in this top three, Zeph.
there are. Very
Hmm.
nicely done by Probe. Clean wins, and he is going to move on to face Seetha again. Last match ended up with a 2-1, Seetha being victorious. But this one's going to be a best of 5 because it's the losers bracket
That's right.
final.
That's right. Which, I mean, the last 2 games of Seetha and Pro were incredibly close. Could have either player could have won those games in the end there. So I feel like this best of 5 is potentially very, very exciting. I got the bracket up for you guys there. The losers final, this best of 5 is going to decide our second qualified player. But wait, there's more. Once we have our second qualified player, the 2 qualified players are going to face each other in glorious combat to see who wins $2,100 and who's the sick nerd bowler with that fold money with a $3,000 cash for prize number 1.
Yeah, that's it. That's going to be an awesome match no matter who comes out of that. And I'm really looking forward to it. Could we have a repeat performance of Seetha and Hutt representing us overseas? Or will Probe reclaim his throne, which he has had 4 times before, but been a little bit unlucky in more recent seasons? So looking forward
But
to
it
that.
is nice to see Probe being top 3 again, like to be a contender and to fight back and look like he has that old form again, which is really nice to see because we like having Probe in the upper echelons. We don't want him to bow out in the round of 8. We want him to qualify. He's a great representative of the country, so I'd love to see him fight Seetha here. But of course, I love Seetha as well, so it's a little bit a little bit tough to see who I want to win here in the next series.
The fans are the real winners, Maynard. That's where we're at this point.
I feel like there should be a hand on the off webcam just coming in, just giving you a bouquet of flowers and putting a tiara on your head.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, folks, we'll take a quick break and come back with the losers bracket finals. Don't go away.